everybody. We are in the final year BSc lab. If you have remembered, you were doing the experiments of 604 experiments. Due to the lockdown, you didn't complete all the 8 experiments of the paper 604, which are exclusively the operational amplifier experiments. Okay, we want to give the demonstration for the last 4 experiment of the list. The first 4 experiments you have successfully done and you are comfortable with them. I am starting with the high pass filter, once again using operational amplifier. The filter circuit which you have already studied in the theory also. It is a frequency selective network which allows a particular band of frequencies to pass through it and attenuates the remaining frequency of the input signal from being it will just attenuate the other frequency components of the input signal. So in that way we have low pass filter and the high pass filter. These filter circuits are mainly used in the communication networks. Low pass filter you have already done. The aim of the experiment is to study the frequency response curve of the high pass filter, that is to see how the gain of the filter, high pass filter, varies with the frequency of the input signal. Okay. In the filter circuit, the designing of the circuit is most important. That is, the cutoff frequency plays the important role in the designing. For any filter circuits, the cutoff frequency Fc is given by 1 by 2 pi Rc, where R and C are the frequency selective components, and we have decided the cutoff frequency Fc is fixed for 2 kHz, and we are allowed to choose the value of capacitor, that is 0.01 microfarad. So if you put this value of Fc and C and rearrange the terms, you will get the value of R to be used for this particular high pass filter, that will come around 7.9 kilo ohms, and the available nearest value is 8.2 kilo ohms. The second designing you have to see is the gain of the operational amplifier. As you can see the circuit diagram, operational amplifier is in the non-inverting configuration, that is input signal is applied to the non-inverting terminal through the resistor, capacitor and resistor, and theoretically you know that the gain of the non-inverting amplifier is given by 1 plus Rf by R1. We have also decided the gain should be equal to 3, and we have chosen R1 value, and if you rearrange and calculate RF value we have to use is 2 kilo ohms, and the available resistor is 2.2 kilo ohms. So in the pass band gain, the gain of the practical high pass filter is also 3, that is as designed as per the theory. Okay. Now let us come to the circuit connections of the op-amp pin configuration. You know that for the proper functioning of the op-amp, irrespective of any experiment, the dual power supply connection should be done, which is same for all the experiment. That is, plus 12 volts is connected to the pin number 7, minus 12 volts is connected to pin number 4, and the middle one is grounded, that is one common ground point, that is common connection. And if you start the connection from pin number 2, that is the inverting, 2 resistors R1 and RF are starting from pin number 2, 1K and 2.2K. The other end of R1 is grounded, this is the ground point, so I have grounded the other end of R1. RF other end is working as the feedback resistor, so it is connected between pin number 2 and 6. Coming to the pin number 3, that is the non-inverting input, the resistor and the capacitor, according to the design we have chosen, 8.2K resistor and 0.01 microfarad, both are starting from pin number 3. The other end of the resistor is directly grounded, and the other end of the capacitor is connected to the input signal. That is, we are applying the input signal between the capacitor and the ground. Okay, we are allowed to vary the frequency of the input signal, and we are measuring the output voltage, but that is between the pin number 6 and ground, by observing the waveforms on the CRO. Okay, so as you can see, on the first channel of the CRO, I have adjusted the input voltage of the input signal for 1 volt constant, 1 square centimeter into 1 volt, that is input voltage is fixed for 1 volt. Okay, as the pass band gain is 3, on the second channel we are measuring the output voltage which is applied between the pin number 6 and the ground. It is showing 1 to almost 2.8 into 1 volt, that is 2.8 volts, nearly equal to 3 volts. So if you take the ratio of output voltage to the input voltage, that is giving you the practical gain which is almost same as we have done the designing for the 3. Okay, so the circuit is working properly. Now what is the procedure? If you look at the tabular column, we are fixing the amplitude of the input voltage for 1 volt. We are varying the frequency of the input signal starting from 50 Hz with the help of the frequency knob here. We start taking the readings, measuring the input and the output. Input is anyway kept constant for 1 volt. Output voltage is, as you can see, at low frequency, that is around 100 Hz, 200 Hz. It is very small, just 0.4 volts into 1 volt, 0.4. So the gain is also very less at the low frequencies. As we are go on increasing the frequencies, frequency of the input signal in the step 100, 200, 300, the output voltage goes on increasing, as you can see. Okay, the cutoff frequency is 2 kilohertz. So above 2 kilohertz the output voltage becomes maximum and it remains constant. So I will start increasing the frequency of the signal from 2K. This is 2.1K. As you can see here, the output is almost maximum and it is remaining constant, even though I vary the frequency of the input signal 6K, 7K, 8K, like this. So high pass filter means all the frequencies below cutoff frequencies are get attenuated, hence the output and gain is minimum, and only all the frequency of the input signal above the cutoff frequencies are allowed to pass through it. So the output, hence the gain, is maximum and constant. Okay, so if you calculate, if you fill up the tabular column for the various frequency of the input signal, if you measure the output and calculate the gain and also the gain in decibel, which is 20 into log of V0 by Vi, then we are plotting these readings, frequency versus gain, on the semi-log graph sheet, as the range of the frequency is very wide. The nature of the graph will be like this. So to fix the cutoff frequencies, the maximum gain we are measuring, that is gain in dB, and we go 3 dB down from the maximum gain and draw the line to cut this curve. That corresponding frequency is called as the cutoff frequency of the high pass filter, represented by FL, and as you can see that above this cutoff frequency the gain is maximum and remaining constant. Below this frequency the gain is decreasing and becomes minimum. So this band is called as stop band, and above cutoff frequency it is the pass band of the filter. So with the help of the frequency response curve we can write down the theoretical cutoff frequency is designed for 2. We have to compare what is the cutoff frequency calculated or determined with the help of the graph. That should be nearly equal. So that is the high pass filter. Setting up the experiment. setting the input voltage and measuring the output on the CRO. By varying the frequency of the input signal, note down the output voltage, gain is calculated and the graph is drawn. Okay, that's the end of the experiment.